At Myth fan page asks, what age were you when you started gaming? So that's actually a very interesting question because I try to track my origin of like when I started gaming a lot. Like I try to track it down pretty often because I really like don't remember when I started. Like I don't remember my first game or my first console, but I do remember me playing Halo Combat Evolved Christmas release on the original Xbox platform. And I think that came out in 2001. So that would mean I was young, 2 or 3 years old. At Nathan394 asks, what would you do if you weren't playing games and streaming? Ooh, that's a fun question. I would be in college for computer science, definitely. Cooper H11145626, a lot of numbers, ask, where's your name from? I'm guessing you're talking about my, like my online name Myth is from a line/series of Call of Duty clan tags. So back in the day, when I used to play a lot of COD back in the day, like I'm like a 90-year-old man, but a couple years ago, basically, when I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, I got into this clan called Leprechauns. It'd be really cool if people are like watching this from the clan and like we link up again, would really appreciate that. But anyways, back to the point. I was in this clan called Leprechauns and I wanted a cool name, right? And you had Leprechauns Chrono, Leprechauns Silo, Leprechauns Boss, Leprechaun Rifle. And I was like, damn, I need a good name. So I decided to go with Leprechauns Myth. So that's kind of how that started. Then I kind of shifted it over from something else, and then I cut that off and just kept the Myth part. And then Myth has kind of been a name that I've stuck with that I really, really like and has some thought behind it now as well, now that I've thought about the name and stuff, and glad that I picked it. It's a nice name. At Plainview2K asks, I have never had a girlfriend. Can you give me some good advice as to how to pick up a girl? First bit of advice, don't, okay? Just, you don't go out and just pick up girls. This ain't Walmart, but what you can do is like, just get to know somebody, man. Like, don't be in a rush. I don't know how old you are or whatever, but just focus on yourself. I don't know your age, I don't know how developed you are, but if you're not fully developed and you don't know what you want to do in life yet, just slow your roll. You don't need to add somebody into your life yet, because then you're just gonna add them onto like the process and train of trying to find yourself as a human being. And I think you should just relax, you know what I'm saying? But maybe you are developed, just go out and talk to people, man. Just like have a conversation, get to know them as a person first. And then, if things develop, if feelings develop for one another, do it, kill it. Girlfriend and boyfriend up. Jinro_07 asks, how often does someone recognize you in public? Oof, that's a good, how often? I think about almost every time I go out, I get recognized or somebody wants to take a picture, say hi, which I love personally. It's always a great experience, to be honest. It's always a great time. So I don't really mind it so much. But yeah, I'd say almost every time I go out somewhere, if I'm out for more than like an hour or two, I'll typically get stopped. Or if I go to a restaurant, I'll typically get stopped and, say hi to somebody that knows me. It's New ask, if you could add a weapon to Fortnite, what would it be? I don't really feel like we need anything. The weapon that I really wanted, the hunting rifle, I actually that was the weapon that I wanted in Fortnite. Epic answered my prayers then, so maybe they'll answer it again, but I don't really have a weapon that I really want. But let's go with new assault rifle. At Jonathan DeGoX ask, was there ever a point where you thought you were going nowhere with streaming as a whole? What kept you going and how did you expand your fan base? That's a very good question. So to answer the first part of it, you kind of, there wasn't a time where I felt like I wasn't going anywhere with it. I always knew that, you have to put in time. It's definitely a grind. It's a process, right? And even though you may not feel like you're growing, you have to put yourself in the best mental state to kind of keep the future in mind. What do I want to do in the future? How do I want to improve my stream? So that's something that kind of always kept me going, is like, how do I improve my content? If you can't watch your VODs and be like, hey, I'm entertained, like I enjoy watching my stream, like in general, I would watch this person, then that's where like the first issue lies, right? I feel like a lot of content creators that feel like they may not be going anywhere is because they become stagnant. They're not really trying to change things up, or they're not really being themselves, honestly, to them, you know, truthfully. Because I think that's when I feel like that even now, where when I'm not being truthfully and wholesomely like myself on stream, I just feel like I'm not progressing. And that's like a really scary feeling that I put myself in sometimes, but I definitely get myself out of it. And for the second part of the question, to expand your fan base, man, I think this isn't something that's talked about a lot, but the way that I think is the best way to do it is you need to try to integrate yourself within the community of the game that you're trying to play as much as you can, without making it, without doing it wrong, basically. Like, don't go to these streams and link this and link that, or try to put your content in places that obviously doesn't belong just to get a click or two. Try to come up with ways to make people care about your content and, you know, put your face in the game in a sense. For example, building is something that a lot of people directly associate to me. That is something that has tremendously made my fan base grow like by miles. So, and then on top of that, for another like example, skeleton skin. That, like, I don't want to say that was planned, but there was a time where like I started noticing, I'm like, people associate this skin with me. And if you could make people associate in-game content with you, that is something that's like, you got it, baby. Like, you're gonna grow because people associate things that they don't even have to be watching your stream and they're thinking about you. Rave203 asks, do you think you can defeat Ninja in a build battle? Oh, the question that everybody wants to know the answer to. Could I defeat Ninja in a build? I mean, could I? Yes. Do I think I can? Yes. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, you can't be humble with that type of question. Like, especially like knowing my ability in game. I'm not gonna be able to be like, no, I couldn't take on Ninja. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Yeah, I think I could take on Ninja in a build battle. But like, if you wanna speak completely to like a literal and physical point of view, I play on a way higher DPI and sensitivity than Ninja. My building speed is probably significantly faster in terms of like placing and flicking stuff to kind of counteract bullets and whatnot, and just building up 1x1s and crazy stuff. So yeah, I think I can. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Ask TSM. It's been your boy Myth. I'll see you guys all later. You know, if you want to hit me up on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. They're both TSM_Myth. I'll check you guys out next time. And as always, keep believing.